Hello, welcome to Friday's Reform Roundup. That's Sal Dodgson over there.
And that's Don McGowan.
Hello. We're going to quickly run through the week that has been Reform UK in this episode, which kind of, as we discussed beforehand, that the by-election in Clacton just rumbles onwards. There's just so little interest from anybody outside of Clacton, well, anyone outside of Nigel Farage's in personal circle, really, inner circle. Yes. He keeps making all these videos with, just hit him and his bodyguards plus one or two, maybe members of the public that they've obviously been grabbed to stage a video. But the amount of money they're spending is just a bit weird.
It's obscene.
It is. Who basically gives up their seat in Parliament, resigns their own seat, and then stands again, knowing they'll win, but spends hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds in the process.
Somebody who's absolutely petrified of not winning and owing 28 million to international gangsters. But sorry, do go on.
No, it's fine. Yeah, you're right. And it doesn't sit right with me that they're plowing all this money into this by-election for no reason, because there's literally no reason. He's going to win, we think. We're pretty sure. He's sure he's going to win. And barring anything strange happening, he'll be back in Parliament in September as an MP. Well, sometimes he'll be there. Most of the times he won't.
For his investigations to continue.
Yeah, exactly, which is what we need to happen, which is great. But what a waste of time. He's just spending his entire summer making videos about, he's pivoted again to immigration this week because he's flailing badly. It's just one of the most pathetic political stunts I've ever seen. The whole by-election rigmarole, it's just nuts.
It was a massive miscalculation, wasn't it? He didn't realise everyone would stand back and go, get on with it, you clown.
Exactly. Yeah, the Tories and Labour and Lib Dems and Greens all made him look like a prized turnip, which is nice, because he is a prized turnip.
And he's now scared of being beaten by a bin.
He is. That's the thing. He's put in so much effort, and more effort than I've seen him, apart from leading up to the general election. He's putting more effort into this than he's ever done with anything else. And because he's up against Count Binface and the Rejoin EU party.
Spending more time in Clacton than he has done since he was elected 2 years ago.
Yeah, ever.
It's incredible.
He's never been there that many times in his life.
Well, you see, he couldn't do surgeries because it was a security risk. So how is this?
Apparently.
How is this different?
Exactly. I know.
Nigel's putting his life on the line after he called his own by-election.
Yeah, he must be running scared of portable guillotines.
Sigma 9.
What's Sigma 9? Oh, that's where Count Binface comes from. Sorry, I forgot. But just on that note, I think we're going to chat to John Stevens next week, who's the candidate in Clacton for the Rejoin EU party.
The only serious candidate in the entire thing.
Who's on the ground actually canvassing and doing it properly as a serious party. So we were contacted and asked if we'd like to speak to John, and we both said, yeah, we'd love to speak to John. So that'll be nice next week, hopefully. But the main story is about a T-shirt this week for Reform. Black T-shirt that was on Instagram, and Zack Polanski was tagged in it, who then shared it unwittingly, really, because it was a series of 8 photos that a professional photographer had taken of the Greens just for their Insta, some nice shots. And the very last photo happened to be a man, a nice smiley man, but he's wearing a black shirt with a cartoon guillotine on it, and it said, "We're only making plans for Nigel," which, as it turns out, I didn't know at the time, was
it just still makes me. We have our own experience with this T-shirt, and that just makes me giggle. That's all.
Yeah,
I don't think it's something you or I would personally buy or wear, but
I wouldn't.
It's snigger worthy.
Yeah, it is, and that's an XTC song from 1978 and 79, something like that. We're only making plans for Nigel, and they've comically put it next to a guillotine. But that's it, really. Zack Polanski shared the set of photos that he was tagged in. I don't think he even really considered it, the ramifications that he was going to be.
He just shared. Didn't he just get tagged in it or something?
He got tagged in it originally by the photographer, and then he just.
Is this on Instagram?
Yeah, on Insta. He liked it and
right,
reposted it. And that's all he did.
So he probably didn't even look at it. He probably just knew the account, figured it was okay, and, you know.
Just boosted it onwards. Yeah, exactly. So, but all hell broke loose in Reform world. Zaya Yusuf lost his tiny little mind over and over again.
Well, the irony is that nobody had bloody seen it until they made a big hullabaloo about it, and then shared it with his 2.5 million followers.
Yeah, that's it. And like they were claiming that Zack Polanski was inciting murder against Nigel Farage, which is obviously
because there were so many drive-by guillotinings happening.
Exactly. Yeah, he was petrified of a drive-by guillotining. But it was just nuts. Like Jenrick and Yusuf particularly were off their fucking rocker with
Apoplectic.
it. Yeah, they were. And then it turns out Zack Polanski was invited onto Newsnight. I think it was Wednesday night to talk about it because he was, everyone was saying, "Can you apologize?" And he said, "I'm not apologizing."
He handled it brilliantly.
He did. He was calm. He was angry. You could see his face was angry, especially after what happened, because he explained that he's not apologizing because it was an inadvertent mistake. He admitted that, but he's not bowing to reform, which is great because more people need to be like Zack was in that instance. But during his chat with Vicky Derbyshire, he was interrupted not once, not twice, but 3 times by Nick Watt, the BBC journalist, out on his phone. He's going, "Oh, I've got a message from a senior reform source," he said. And he said, hang on, the first one had received this reaction from senior reform source, and it was to do with Zack Polanski had incited murder against Nigel Farage. He must apologise, and he's not fit to lead a national party. It went on as well. It was really hateful, and so you can tell it was Zaya Yusuf. You just know the language of Zaya Yusuf because he'd said pretty much identical on Twitter anyway. Yeah. So then Polanski stood up for himself and he said, "I'm not apologising. I didn't do it on purpose. It was a mistake." That's all he said. Fine. And then Nick Watt interrupted him again with another text from a senior reform source, i.e. Zaya Yusuf. And then again, towards the end, he had another text and he said, "Oh, I've just had a text from Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage is upset that he hasn't been invited to cross-party discussions on social care." So basically, they really... Not even the subject they were discussing. Exactly. So they've been texting...
So they're controlling Newsnight from home.
Live editing Newsnight via WhatsApp, Reform UK. So because Zaya Yusuf got 2 through and Nick Watt went, "Yeah, fine, I'll read them," Farage decided to get in on the action and try and shoehorn something else in that he's annoyed about. And they let it go through. And I'm really disappointed in Newsnight. Absolutely shocking behaviour that they allowed that. You could see Zack's face was just like... Yeah, it was.
Well, I don't blame him. But the other... I don't know if it was on Newsnight or after Newsnight, but I have read Zack saying that he would apologise if Nigel Farage apologises for all the times he's put other people's lives in danger with his rage baiting, racist rage baiting. So hard
rage and all that shit that he come out with. Yeah, exactly. And so it turns out, like, did you say that? Yeah, like it was reposted by everyone in Reform so many millions of times, that picture.
Nobody had seen it until Farage retweeted it to his 2.5 million followers, and then everyone saw it.
And then it was, it went viral.
Trump level stupid.
It is. And then the glorious ending to the whole piece was the photographer wrote a very public email to Nigel Farage and invoiced him and said, "You've used my image without permission. I would like you to pay this invoice. Otherwise, I'll be taking legal action." Fair play. That's brilliant. Yeah, so do I. I think it's brilliant. But that's it. I mean, it just shows you how dumb they are. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. So
BBC should be ashamed of themselves.
They really should.
They should be anyway, but that's just...
Yeah. But letting that pass, like live editing by Reform via text, is just not acceptable in any way. But, Farage is just having a terrible time at the moment because lots of polls have come out this week before the Manchester mayoral election result, which comes out momentarily. We never know. We might get it in a minute, but the candidates have been gathered for the first round of result declaration, it says. But
first round, counting on the fact that Reform will demand a recount.
Yes, which they will, almost certainly. Going back to the Trump
if they don't ring the police.
Yeah, again.
Because they did refer the T-shirt thing to the police, didn't they?
Yeah,
and the police went, there's no charge to answer.
2 separate police what's regions, whatever you call them, police areas?
Forces?
No. Yeah, forces, that's the word. two separate police forces went, no, fuck off. Don't be so ridiculous.
Stop wasting our time and taxpayers' money, you imbeciles.
But all this is just like, the icing on the cake is like his polling this week. So like current net approval ratings between party leaders dropped, I think, on Thursday. It's got Andy Burnham in first with plus 12.5%, then Badenoch on minus 2%, Davey on minus 6%, Zack Polanski on minus 20%, and right at the bottom is Nigel Farage on minus 23% of approval ratings of leaders. Because it's literally gone from top to bottom there, which is absolutely lovely.
Well, the Tories are getting the Reform are leeching back to the Tories, aren't they?
They are.
The Tories numbers are going up.
Exactly. It's all evening out. So yeah, that sort of tracks with the polling today. Came out BMG poll. Currently, Labour are leading the polls for the first time since very early 25 on 28%. It's plus 5, which is huge. And Reform have dropped back to 23% and Conservatives 20%. So as you just said, the Reform Tory, excuse me, split is kind of more drifting backwards the way it used to be. So we're going to end up with probably, I think Andrew Marr even made a prediction. No, it was Ian Dale in the week said that Reform are going to be lucky to finish third at the end of this year in the polls. Or if there was a general election, they'd be lucky to finish third. So that's great. And then, yeah, we're just waiting on the results of the Manchester election, which will be any moment. And but the exit polls show Labour on 41% and Sean Astley from Reform on 22%. So it looks like Cyan Astley. I can't pronounce that name, Cyan. That's just nonsense.
She does.
I know she does. Anyway, so like it looks like if the exit polls are roughly right, Labour could have doubled what Reform got in Manchester. So another end of a terrible week for Nigel Farage, and I'm absolutely here for it.
Yeah, it's excellent, isn't it?
So I think that'll do for our little Reform Roundup. Where is he?
Yeah,
he was going.
I mean, it's great.
He was patting his bacon sandwich yesterday, and then he was out on the street somewhere yesterday making a horrible face. But
I could go with bacon butter, you know.
Oh, there you go. In
the fridge as well.
Oh, get on it. I wish I could. No, I'm being vegetarian at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So, I've been veggie for a few months now. But anyway, that's another story. Yeah, so I think that's it for Reform Roundup for this week. We'll be back next week with a longer episode and some more little ones. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
See you
Have a
soon.
good weekend. Bye.